Well, it's been 2 months since my last devlog. Whoops. Welcome to devlog 1 of my unnamed space delivery game. In the last devlog, we created the player character and gave them an arm. We also created a package, but it couldn't really do much at that moment. So to begin this devlog, as I promised in my last one, I made it so that you are able to attach and detach the package from your arm. Next up, I was going to expand on how I make packages. I wanted the system for creating packages to be as modular as possible. To start off, I created a package scriptable object which contains the package's material, durability, which will be important later, and a sprite when it takes damage, which will be useful later as well. Now I think it's time to improve how the game looks. I took this space background from OpenGameArt so that we aren't just floating in the Unity abyss and started to add lighting to my game. I know it's pretty early in development and I shouldn't really worry about lighting, but ooh, look, lights. Coming back to the package and the title of this video, I'm going to make it so that you are able to destroy the package. The way it works is that it has health and a damage threshold which is affected by the durability value I mentioned earlier. If the absolute velocity on the X or Y axis is larger than the damage threshold, then we damage the package based off how much it goes over that damage threshold. However, the player won't be able to read these console values I output, meaning we need some visual way to show the player that the package has been damaged. But we'll get back to that later because it's time to talk about input. You see, before this, if I wanted to switch from the controller layout to the keyboard layout, I would have to stop the game, switch this boolean, add this to the player input map, and then finally it would work. And I would have to do the same thing, but in reverse if I wanted to go back to controller. We have to make this happen automatically since manually doing this every single time is incredibly tedious. I probably should have implemented that earlier, but hey, it's done now. Back to packages, we need to represent the damage to the player, and the way I decided to do that is with a flash. When the package takes damage, it will flash white and then play a particle system, which actually looks pretty good. Almost too good. Like, the point of the game is not to damage the package, and damaging it looks and feels good, so hopefully that isn't an issue. I also wanted a way to represent how much health the package has to the player, so I made this script which can have cracks show up based on how much damage it took. I'm kind of proud of this system. The actual crack sprites are larger than the package, but I used a sprite mask to make it conform to the package. This means no matter the shape of the package, the cracks will show up properly. Only that they look kind of bad right now, but I think they will suffice for now. Before I move on to the next thing I did, I want to give some context for this. At the time of making this, it was March break and I was going on vacation. So we got to the airport, and then right when we got there, our flight got cancelled. So our original flight was relatively early in the morning. I think it was like, 11 a.m.-ish? And we had to book an entirely new flight, which was around like 5 or 6 p.m. So me and my family were stuck in the airport for like 6 hours. So instead of just sitting around doing nothing, I actually decided to use this time to be productive and worked on the game. Kinda wish I had that motivation now, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so back to what I did. So for this, I improved the damage system a bit more. The current system did not allow for the package to stay still, but when it gets hit by an object, it still takes damage. Instead, it would just move out of the way and not take any damage. So basically, on the moving object, I placed a script that keeps track of the velocity each frame for a maximum of up to 3 frames. What happens is when the package collides with a moving object, is that it checks the velocity list on that object. And if the velocity exceeds the threshold, the package then takes damage. This allows level gimmicks in the future where if something like a car for instance or an asteroid flies towards your package, the package will take damage. Finally, to end off this devlog, I created smoke that came out with a thruster for whenever you move. I think it looks pretty good, but at the same time, I think it's kind of distracting, so let me know what you think about this addition down in the comments below. And that's going to wrap up this devlog. I apologize for not getting this out sooner. I have a life outside of game development and I can't be constantly working on the game. I hope I can get this next devlog out sooner. However, this month and the upcoming month are going to be really busy for me and I won't have as much free time for working on the game. Don't worry, I'll still be working on it, but just not at the same pace as before. In the meantime, thanks for watching and I will see you later.